Hi everybody, it's Russell Markham here from VectorVest. I'm going to have a look today. What's better? Do we invest into gold or gold and silver mining companies? How do we go about? How would we check to see what would be the better one? Let's go and take a look using VectorVest. Before we get going, let's move myself out the way. Please note our license numbers here. Please note too, general advice only. I cannot take into account your personal financial circumstances. And as always, past performance is no guarantee of future results. Forecasts or back tests used today, they are for a guide only. They're guide purposes only. All right, so as long as we're okay with that, let's move on. So what I've done here in VectorVest, I've gone to the graphs tab and I've put in gold.ax. Gold.ax is an ETF and it tracks the gold bullion price. So it's about as close as you can get effectively to investing into physical gold. I mean, the next step would be, of course, you could go down to, let's say, the Perth Mint and buy a gold bar from them. There's inconvenience with that because you've got to store it, so you might have to pay some storage costs. If you do take delivery of it where you're going to put it, you're probably not going to want to store it on your bed. It's not going to be safe, so you're going to have to put it somewhere with a lock and key somewhere. So, gold ETFs effectively are an easy, cheap and safe way to get exposure to gold. Anyway, this is the performance of gold.ax. It tracks the gold bullion price. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in an additional ticker code. All right, so the additional one I'm going to put in here is GDX. All right, this tracks the gold miners. All right, so if I put this one on here, right click, change the style, load it up, here we go. So over the last 10 years and 2 months and 28 days, the gold miners ETF, GDX, we'll go have a look at these in a bit more detail. GDX is outperformed. All right, so you can see over the last 10 years, it's up, what's that, about 450%. This is percentage returns, assuming both started here at 0% returns, and then this is the relative performance. So about 450% for GDX, and gold has gone up just shy of 300, about 280%. So that's over the last 10 years. Let's see if we go back a little bit further. Now, prior to that, going back more than 10 years, GDX wasn't listed. Well, we certainly don't track it there in VectorVest. So it's fair then in terms of a comparison over the last 10 odd years. Here they were both available, these ETFs, and you can see their relative performances. Let's bring it in a bit. Let's have a look over the last 5 years. All right, so over the last 5 years, gold has been outperforming GDX, so the gold miners, most of the time, apart from 1 or 2 little periods of time. In fact, looks like really just here and here effectively. You can see it's been the better performer over the last 5 years. It's outperformed the gold miners index. All right, so that's the last 5 years. But having said that, very much neck or neck in terms of returns. All right, let's go and have a look at the last 1 year. Here we go. We'll load it up. And now you can see, look at that. The gold miners way outperformed gold. All right, so the gold miners up 120%. The ETF that tracks them, and gold's done 80. So it's outperformed it quite a bit. Let's have a look over the last 6 months. All right, GDX is outperformed again. And let's go and look at the last 3 months. Gold's catching up, but still the miners are outperforming. And over the last 1 month, pretty much neck on neck. So it's difficult to say. It depends on what time period you're looking at. It's fair to say that on average, the gold miners ETF here that is represented by GDX appears to be the better performer over a longer time period, but it's also quite a bit more volatile at times. So over 10 years it's outperformed, but then during this time period here, gold was the better performer. So it's a little bit tricky. I can't definitively say. It depends what time period you're running. Certainly here from March 2023 until July 2025. I mean, gold outperformed the gold miners index quite a bit on average. Or should I say index, a collection of gold mining stocks versus the tracking of gold bullion via these ETFs. Let's go and take a closer look. So I'll go to viewers, and we've got a stock viewer in VectorVest. I'll just show the top, say 5. And let's just bring in GDX and we'll bring in gold.ax. These are the two ETFs. How do I know the ETFs? If I scroll across, here we go. So the ETFs, right? And anyhow, coming back here, let's have a look at GDX. Right click, view full stock analysis report. And so we can see the write-up. So VanEck, Vector, Gold Miners, ETFs, and Exchange Traded Fund incorporated in the US, tracks the performance of the ARCA Gold Miners Index. So, all right, so it's effectively tracking the gold miners. If you look at gold.ax, right click, view report. Let's bring this one up and load this one up here. Here we go, it loads up, and it's an ETF, but it tracks physical gold. Okay, so there we go. You be the judge. You know which one jumps out to you. I guess it depends what time frame. Certainly gold has been, I'd say, the better performer in recent times. It's certainly been a smoother performer. But the gold miners are coming back with a vengeance, aren't they? And in recent times here, they've certainly outperformed. So should gold continue to run, there are two ETFs you may wish to consider. And as always, I can't give you any personal advice. I can't say which one you should or shouldn't buy. It's up to you. The power of these short presentations is we keep you informed. Use VectorVest, track to see the relative performances. And here's an additional thing I'll leave you with. What if I were to say consider Regis Resources for argument's sake? So here we are. Let's put in RRL. Do I buy GDX Gold or RRL? Which one would be the better one? Again, I cannot advise you personally. I don't know which one would be better for you, if any. But it's just interesting to see over the last 3 years, RRL has way outperformed GDX and gold. All right, let's put it back over 5 years. Let's load this one up here. So VectorVest will do the number crunching. Oh, look at that. RRL hasn't performed. And let's go back, one last run here. Let's go back over 10 years. Look at that. GDX has way outperformed. All right, so we're looking at sort of mining, but what if we were to just do one final twist? If I were to throw in, say, Pro Medicus, a medical stock, effectively an X-ray imaging type company here. Look at that, my goodness. It's way outperformed all of these put together. So there's the power of benchmarking with VectorVest. Put your stocks in your industries. You can even come in here and put it against industry. So if I came in here and said, well, you know, what if I were to look at an industry? What about the energy industry? Well, that's how the energy industry has tracked relative to the others we've got on the list. Okay. Until next time, I hope you enjoy this. Until next time, bye for now.